Hey, what's good, beautiful people? The good Dr. Mike back again, once again, with another classic, interesting topic for you guys today. Shout out to my boy BGC Mike, my man, came through with some interesting information for me to actually do a video on. And there have been times where we have talked about opening up franchises and the cost of opening up certain franchises in the Philippines. So today, the information has been given to me so that we can discuss and talk about franchising fees, etc., as it comes to open up specific franchises in the Philippines. This information is coming from the Global Filipino Investor. It says here are some of the most popular franchises in the Philippines and how much they cost. And the website is listed here, www.edufc.tgifph.com. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some of the more popular franchises to open. If you guys need to put this in full screen so that you guys can see it all, please feel free to do so. So first things first, we got good old Jollibee. Now, Jollibee, of course, the country of origin is in the Philippines. There is apparently no franchise fee, but the initial capital investment, how much it's going to cost you to get started, will be anywhere between 25 to 35 million, aka 450,000 US dollars. But I think it's going to end up costing you around 800,000 US dollars for international, because you guys know that you can open a franchise of Jollibee in the United States. There are a couple, some in California, some in New York that I've heard of. I think there may be one in Texas and other areas, maybe even one in Las Vegas. But if you're going to open it locally here in the United States, 450,000 US. If you're going to take it international, 800,000. All right. But there is no royalty fees, okay? It does say that there are no royalty fees. Now, you're going to have to do your due diligence and do your research, but I'm here to give you the numbers as the Global Filipino Investor has given to me. Next is Potato Corner. Now, if you guys don't know what Potato Corner is, it's basically like fried potatoes on a stick, kind of like chips, but you slice up the potatoes, excuse me. You can fry it on a stick, and you have different seasoning salts and stuff like that for flavor. I've seen a couple of stalls do pretty well in the Philippines. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say it's the more popular franchise, but it's definitely a franchise to look into. As you can tell, the country of origin is in the Philippines. There is no franchising fee, but the initial capital of investment is anywhere between 200,000 and 1.2 million pesos. Again, we're looking at roughly at top about 22,000, maybe give or take, less than 25K if we go on the current exchange rate. Now, Potato Corner, if you're a small-time investor looking to get into something relatively small, try to build a brand around it, looking at something that has a very, very low startup cost is definitely something that could be to your benefit. That's the type of person that I am personally. I mean, you already know that if you put the Jollibee in the right location, you're going to do well. But you got to realize you got to come out of pocket for almost $1 million. We're just going to round up and say it's going to be about $1 million for you to get it. So that's a lot of investment for you to look for a return on. How long it takes you to get your return back is really, depending on the market and how many people actually want to eat at Jollibee. So with Potato Corner, relatively a small startup cost could be to your benefit as well. Moving on to 7-Eleven. Now, we already know in Manila there's a 7-Eleven damn near on every corner, and even in Davao City it's starting to grow. But also, there is, I guess the franchising is not that big, but there is a franchising fee for a 7-Eleven for 600,000 pesos, give or take a little over 10, maybe 10 to $12,000 at the current exchange rate. But I guess your initial supplies are going to cost you 170,000 pesos, and your initial merchandise is also going to be 800,000. Now, you do all the math on that. I don't feel like doing the math on that. So franchising fee 600K, initial supplies 170K, initial merchandise 800,000, then construction costs about 2 million, 2.03 million. Okay. I guess that's in and around 3 and some change. It's going to be about maybe 3.5 or so. I'm just spitballing. So that's what you can look to spend for the initial cost, startup cost only, just to get started to having a 7-Eleven. Now, personal opinion with 7-Elevens, I like the idea, but I don't like the idea because 7-Elevens are, I think you can put up a 7-Eleven within a certain distance of kilometers or so. And I'm not a big fan of having a 7-Eleven right down the street from my own. If I'm going to be the only 7-Eleven, I want to be the only one. Like, there's a place in Mental in Davao City, or like where my girl's parents stay and stuff like that. That's the only 7-Eleven in that area. Now, I'm not saying that it's always busy, but there are definitely a lot of people there. So if you're going to put up a 7-Eleven, put up one where there's not a lot of 7-Elevens. That would be my best advice to you, because I'm not a fan of putting up something that is always around or something that everybody could get to. The same as mini stops and shit like that. I don't really care for that too much, okay? Next franchise to talk about is Chowking. Country of origin is Filipino, of course. Franchising fee costs you $1 million plus VAT, which is, I think that's value after tax, if I got that right. I think VAT is value after tax. That's a whole different thing. They'll be able to explain it to you because that's basically based on percentages. Initial cost or initial capital investment is going to be 13 to 15 million. You have to pay royalty fees of 6% and marketing fees of 4%. So you better be coming with some cash flow if you want to get a Chowking. Never once did I believe that a Chowking would have all of this involved with it. I thought Jollibee would probably have a little bit more with the royalties and the marketing. It was not mentioned here, but I guess that may not be an issue for them. Or maybe it's already included in the 20 to 35 million startup costs. I guess that's probably all inclusive to that extent. Okay, moving on to Red Ribbon. Now, Red Ribbon, one of my favorite places to go as well. They have great desserts, great choco rolls and chocolate roll cakes and stuff like that. I enjoy it. Great place for great desserts. I do believe that it is very profitable, in my personal opinion. Franchising fee for that, $600,000. But the initial capital and startup cost is 6 to 7M. Royalty fees is 7% of gross sales. Excuse me. And marketing is 3% of gross sales. Now, let me tell you, for those that don't know business or bitnas, the best way I like to say it, there is a very, very big difference. And I hate the idea that the royalties and marketing is based on gross sales. Okay, when we talk about gross sales, okay, this is just a quick lesson for those that may not know about this. But when you talk about gross sales, let's say for a minute that my profits for the month are $1 million, right? I made a million pesos in the month. That was my sales for the month. Now, my cost of goods sold, or how much it cost me to make this million, it cost me 500,000. So that means that I have 500,000 pesos as my net profit. Now, there's a big difference between net and gross. Basically, with the million that I made, that's what Red Ribbon is going to get your 7% from. They're going to get your 7% from the 1 million that you made, not the 500,000 after whatever you paid to get that million in the first place. I know that's a lot to think about. If I could write it out, I would. But basically, gross is how much you made overall. Net is what you made after you spent after expenses and stuff like that. So they're taxing you on what you made overall, which really sucks. That I don't like it. I respect it because it's business, but I do not like it at all. I will be an angry ass dude for somebody trying to take my money on my gross and not my net. Patron, which is a what's that? Patron is a gasoline station. There is no franchising fee. I'm surprised that the initial capital is only 1 to 2.5 mil. That's interesting, but you have to have a cash bond of 100,000. Patron is a gas station, basically. Like I said before, they got Patron, they got Shell. Now, this is something that I would personally be interested in. Now, I'm gonna have to do my due diligence and see what other initial costs there will be, but you got to realize, guys, this is gas. This is something everybody needs. Diesel, unleaded, Supreme, Premium, you name it. People need gas to get around. Jeepneys need diesel fuel. I mean, this is a business that is always going to be in business. People may be able to say, I can go without eating today, so I don't need my Jollibee. I don't need my Chowking. I don't need my potato corner. And I don't need to go to 7-Eleven to get no snacks and shit. But people cannot live without Patron. Petron, I'm sorry. Gas. It's always something that is in demand regardless. Now, you do have to deal with the fluctuation in markets of, okay, maybe gas prices are high one day and then they're low the next month or something like that. So, yeah, that might play a part in that one. But yeah, you definitely have to think about that as well. Give me a minute. I got things to do. Sorry. Let me get back to that. I'll read emails later. Sorry. So the next would be the generics pharmacy. I did not mean to do that in the middle of the video. I'm sorry. Anyways, the generics pharmacy. Franchising fee 290,000 pesos. Not too bad. Initial startup cost 750. So you're looking at a shade over $1 million to get started. No royalties and no marketing. Not bad. I think that's pretty cool. Yellow Cab Pizza Company. I love Yellow Cab. They have great pizza. Kind of greasy for my taste, but I like it. Overall, it's pretty cool. 1.25 M to get started. Initial capital, that's the franchising fee just to buy the rights. But the initial capital is going to be between 9 and 14. That's really expensive. And Yellow Cab is okay. Just don't think that it's worth that much. In my personal opinion, maybe I'm wrong. You guys leave it down in the comment section below. But the royalty is 6%. Marketing is 4%. Okay? So, yeah, you do all that. You do the math on all that. So, Shakey's, great little pizza place. It's okay. They're asking a franchise fee of 1.5 million to 2.2. Shakey's is actually a pretty decent restaurant. You might be able to get away with the price on that one. But the initial capital, 18 to 25 M, plus the royalties and marketing. You see it there, 7.5 and 5.5. Max's Chicken. Now, the thing about Max's Chicken is it's always busy, but in my personal opinion, that is the driest chicken I've ever ate in my life. I mean, it's shit dry as hell. I mean, no disrespect, but Max has got some dry-ass chicken. They got other good stuff on the menu, but the chicken, which is what it's supposed to be known for, that chicken dry. And you want to charge me $2 million to do that? Hell no, I ain't interested. Initial capital of 15 mil. Plus the royalty fee of 5% and 3.5% for marketing. All right, Greenwich or Greenwich, however you pronounce it. Franchising fee of 815,000. Initial capital investment, 20 M to about 25 M. They want royalties of 5% and marketing of 5% as well. Now, let me tell you an interesting story. This is just, I'm sorry, guys. This is just something that I heard to be accurate. Don't quote me on this because I don't know exactly. But at least in Davao City, I heard that it is one family, Chinese, one Chinese family that owns the rights to Greenwich, Chowking, Jollibee, and McDonald's. Now, don't quote me on that, but I do believe that to be accurate, that there's one family that owns the franchising rights in Davao City. Could be true, could be false, but that's a lot of money, and this is probably what they had to pay initially. Again, this is just for the time in the moment. Who knows what the franchising fees and rights and things were when they first came out. You know, these businesses have been in the Philippines for a long time, for many, many years. And of course, over time, prices fluctuate and prices increase. Okay. So with Greenwich, you have, like I said, 815, 20 to 25 million initial capital, royalties 5, and marketing 5%. Waffle Time. Waffle Time is a little, I like Waffle Time. Waffle Time is like waffles with different types of things on the inside. You can get waffles with cheese and ham. You could get a waffle with a hot dog in it, some Belgian chocolate, waffles with all kinds of different types of things stuffed inside of it. So Waffle Time, I enjoy it. I don't believe, well, the franchising fee is 50,000 and the initial capital to get in is 250. So we're looking at about 300,000 pesos. I think that might be worth it. Again, if you're the type of person that looks for something small just to get your foot in the door and get started, that would probably be okay. But I want to fill you guys in on some very, very useful information. Okay, understand that this is just a franchising fee to have the rights to use the name of Waffle Time and the initial capital to get started. Now, if you have a little stall area, it's not going to cost you a lot to build you a little stall up and create the space for you to cook the product. What's going to cost you the most is the rent. What's going to cost you the most is where you choose to put up your little Waffle Time. Trust me, these rent space, god dang it, the renting space and prices for you to rent stalls inside of malls is absolutely ridiculous. In Gazana Mall, Davao City, in the lower part near the grocery store, they charge 40 to 80,000 a month just to have a little stall down at the bottom near the grocery store. 40 to 80,000. That's $1,000+ a month. Now that may not sound like a lot, but you got to realize you're selling your waffles for like 40 pesos, maybe 25 pesos and shit like that. You know how many damn waffles I got to sell just to make it? Not feeling it. Not feeling it at all. Master Shomai. Guys, if you've never had Master Shomai, you are sleeping. It's this really cool like it's a stall too, but they make like little dumplings with Shomai. They got chicken, they got chicken, beef, and all kinds of different flavors, fish, whatever types of Shomai. Shomai is like just a little steamed dumpling, and put some spices on it, some calamansi. It's awesome. You guys have to have it. You've got to try it. You got to enjoy it. This is not product placement. This is just for the sake of the video. But yes, Master Shomai, I love it. It's just a nice little stall. They're only asking 280, which is not bad. But again, you have to realize that the bulk of what you're going to spend outside of that is your rent. And you got to make sure that if you're selling something 28 to 35 pesos per setting, how many of those little damn things you actually got to sell to make money. You got to make sure you keep that in mind. Yeah, the franchising fee and initial capitals startup may be not too bad, not in the millions and stuff, but you got to realize what else is going to cost you. Angel's Pizza, never heard of it, but they're asking for a franchise fee of 300,000 to 500,000 plus VAT after tax, value after tax, initial capital 300 to 4 mil, 4.25 on net sales, which I told you earlier. Net sales is not bad. That's after you did everything you need to. It's way better than gross. If you guys remember that explanation, marketing is on net sales as well. Teriyaki Boy, they want 9 to 10 mil as the initial startup capital. No need for a franchising fee. 5% on net sales. And also marketing is also 2.5% on net sales. Pancake House, kind of like a Philippine version of IHOP. I think it's not bad at all. They're like a Philippine version of Denny's. They want $1 million plus 12% value after tax. It seems pretty big. They want an initial capital of 7 to 8.5 M, and there is no royalty fees. And that is all that they have in this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. But if you guys are interested in looking to franchise your own little spot, these are some franchises to consider with actual numbers to see if it is worth your while. Again, you got to do your translation into US dollars on your own. You can see if it's worth your time or not. Personally, if you want to know what I would do, because I'm an ass and I do this shit all the time and I know what I'm doing, what I would do is I would take an idea that already exists and just make it my own. That way I don't have to pay franchising fees, royalties to nobody but me. Understand that. If you got like something set up like like a Jollibee. Well, I wouldn't say Jollibee, they're too big. But if you got like, places that sell something generally generic, like Waffle Time, who sells waffles, why don't I just call it Time for Waffles? You feel me? And then Time for Waffles, I make the same kind of waffles and stuff. And they can't really sue me for that because it's not the exact same name. But you might be pushing it there. But like I said, try to come up with an idea that may be a spinoff of something that you really enjoy. Just find a way to make it your own, sell it your own way, and do your own thing. That way you don't have to pay franchising fees, when your initial capital investments and all that stuff can be relatively lower. Mainly, most of that stuff is based off of the franchising name that you're buying, which is mostly inclusive in the franchising fee for the name and the right to use the product as it stands and stuff like that. But like I said, man, if you guys want to check out the website, www.tgfiph.com. If you guys are interested, let me know. I hope this video was insightful. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was entertaining, simply because most of this stuff, man, I can't see myself dropping that kind of money to do a franchise, and especially if I could do it on my own. But like I said, we talked about it, but now we got numbers to put to it. There's no more guesstimating like we used to do before this was bought to us by the Global Filipino Investor. Shout out to my boy BGC Mike for bringing this to my attention. That's my boy, my brother from another. So at the end of the day, this is content that I feel you guys would be content that most of you guys might find useful, especially if you're looking to retire and possibly maybe considering getting into something down the line. Sorry if it was too long. Appreciate you guys listening. Put this in full screen so you can see it all. With that being said, the good doc is officially out. At least not ko pa alam, which means we are going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.